Hey, Mike, can you hear us?
I can. Good afternoon, Bill.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Thanks. Sorry for the late start.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, so we've got quorum. So when you're ready, you should start recording. All right, welcome everyone to the October 24th Monroe County Planning Board meeting. We have 3 amendment votes and some meeting minutes to approve. I'll take roll. Bill Santos, that's me. Mike Wiedemer.
Here.
Sam Trapani, Andrew Hollister, Orlando Rivera. They all sent notes in that they weren't coming, I think. So Dave Watson.
Here.
Millie Safranek, Robert Colby, Rachel Barnhart. I think she sent a note too, right? She couldn't make it. Jeff McCann, Adrian Green, Amy Grower, Laura Smith.
Here.
Robert Franklin, Joe Taddeo, Richard Tantalo,
Here.
Christina Doherty, Mike Garland, and Sean Murphy.
Here.
And Ishan, you want to introduce staff?
So we have representative from Department of Aviation, Allison Leah here. They have 2 action items here for answering questions. And we also have Quinn Rhodes and Tony Castillo here from MCC.
Great.
And also the Lisa Hangchun and Ishan Lin here from Planning.
Great, welcome everyone. Thank you for your patience. First item on the agenda is the approval of the September 26th, 2024 meeting minutes. I need a motion for those, please.
So move.
Thank you, David. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Millie. Under discussion, those were emailed to you in the packet. Any corrections or changes? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? Great, minutes are approved. Announcements and communications.
So just last month, we sent over the land use decision-making training program, a flyer, and the workshop was started next Wednesday, October 30th, 4:30 to 9 p.m. And the section was sold out. It was 72 seats all filled out, and we have a wait list. So the popular one is an introduction to land use law and the seeker. So a lot of planning board and zoning board.
Yeah.
And it's a CLD credit pending too. We submit the whole application.
Good. Yeah, it's required for, well, training is required for planning board members. So from towns anyway. So that's why that becomes popular. They were trying to find a different spot, I understand from Steve.
Yeah, so we try to keep it in the MCC,
right,
because the convenient location.
Seats.
So we did get a bigger room.
Oh, you did already?
Yeah.
Right.
So I think Dave and Millie both to sign up.
Oh, great. Yeah, it's a good course. Okay. Any other announcements from board members? Hearing none, we'll move on to action items. First item is item 3A. Amend the 2024 through 2029 capital improvement program and the 2024 capital budget to expand the scope of the project from acquire, replace a rescue firefighting safety vehicle, R3, to acquire, replace airport rescue firefighting safety vehicles, and increase the project funding in the amount of $1.5 million, making the total project funding $3 million. I need a motion for that, please. Thank you, Sean. Is there a second?
Second.
Right. Oh, who was it? Joe? Oh, yeah. Great. And Allison, you're up.
The project originally only included 1 ARC vehicle. We have a second vehicle that was purchased back in 2009, so it's now 15 years old. That's the useful life of a ARC vehicle. So we want to increase the budget to be able to purchase the second one. We can keep keep our index up.
Right.
It will be funded. It's, we're going after a 25 FAA grant. We are in discussion with them. And that's funded, 90% is FAA, 5% state, 5% local.
Any questions?
How many vehicles do you have in your fleet?
I think it's 3, don't quote me.
Oh,
on that.
okay, just the 3.
Yeah.
All right.
There's
Is there like a vehicle replacement
They,
schedule?
yeah, typically we go with your useful life of 15 years.
Okay,
And when they get to that age, the maintenance on them increases. Older vehicles, it's harder to find. Because, so it's best just to replace, get a new.
Do they get recycled, resold, reused?
Sometimes we've kept them just for extra.
Training,
Yeah,
like across the street, right?
Yeah.
They go to Scottsville Road, the training center sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. And we expanded that garage across the street and we did keep one, if I recall.
perhaps.
Yeah, we're doing an
Uh,
expansion
Yeah,
for the bay,
yeah,
storage bay.
right. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Great, thank you. Motion carries. Next item is to amend the 2024 through 2029 capital improvement program and the 2024 capital budget to expand the scope and the project of the project from viaduct rehabilitation to viaduct and bridge rehabilitation, and to increase the funding for the project in the amount of $5 million, making total project funding $6.5 million. I need a motion for that, please.
So
So,
David,
second.
seconded Mike. Thank you. And you're up.
So the project was created for maintenance on the viaduct bridge. The DOT did an inspection and there were some yellow flags. So we want to increase the funding so that we can properly address those, and that includes not just the viaduct, but the bridge on the jug handle that goes over Brooks Ave. So we want to get those now before they become red flags and there's more required to do.
So is this the big bridge that loops around?
Yeah, the
Over
main
Brooks?
bridge, is you're coming up to the departures.
Yeah.
That's the viaduct, it's fancy name for bridge.
Oh, okay, right,
The elevated roadway in front of the terminal.
right in front of the terminal, between the garage and the,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
okay. How old is that?
Well, I believe it's original construction 89.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was built. We tore down the original building and we built the 91.
Yeah, in that zone.
Yeah. Phase 1 was one wing and the other phase was another wing. Yeah. Okay.
And again, we'd be going after an FAA grant to assist in the funding for that.
I see. Yeah. Gotcha. Any questions?
timeframe?
We are hoping, we're doing some investigative, design work, if you will, presently. I think that's actually, some of it's gonna be done tomorrow, to determine the extent of,
What's needed?
what's needed. But the design will be over the winter and hopefully construction next year.
Thank you.
What about phasing and you're gonna keep it open, obviously,
Yes.
while it's happening, so you're just gonna shut a lane down at a time type of deal, or how's
To be
that?
determined in design, once we know the full extent of what we have to do.
Mhm. And so it would affect mostly arrivals, right? Because you're working underneath.
Yeah, I mean, it might, yeah, perhaps,
For the most part, minus, you
yeah.
know, shut the light down. Good. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Great, motion is approved. Thank you. Good job. Item 3C, next item is to amend the 2024 through 2029 capital improvement program and the 2024 capital budget to add a project entitled MCC Downtown Campus Career Center in the amount of $14,500,000. I need a motion for that, please.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Richard. Is there a second? Thank you. Who said it? Millie. All right. We have Quint.
Well, so actually,
Oh, Sean, you're for the
Yeah.
presenting. Okay, great.
quite frankly, this is probably one of the simpler projects we've had in a long time, and of course, more people show up. So, because honestly, this is a relatively simple renovation of the 4th floor at downtown campus to facilitate the Department of Labor and Rochester Works and some MCC staff providing workforce development and career training and resources to the community. So if you can see on the slide here, got some statistics from Rochester Works, their program. I can't tell you what the acronym stands for. WIOA is a federally funded program that facilitates workforce training for occupational skills and that type of thing. They have over 200 folks per year that come in and participate in that. And over the last couple of years, they've had over 700 youth come in for their Rochester Works for Youth program. So it's very well attended, very well utilized, and the retention rate is great. They've got a metric that folks that come in for the training retain jobs that they obtain after the training, and it's in the 70% range. So it's a pretty good number, I think, as far as that is concerned. Their lease is up right now. Rochester Works lease is up at 2 locations on College and Waring. And they also have a location over on St. Paul in our DHS building. And the DOL is currently at MCC, but in a different location of the building. So they're actually all co-locate in the same area that's going to be built on the 4th floor. So if you go to the next slide, it basically just gives you a rough idea of what it looks like. You know, it's just 24,000 square feet. We have to do demolition and abatement. The space that has not been touched since the renovations were done initially for the downtown campus. So there's asbestos that has to be abated, some walls that have to be moved out and all that. So that's going to happen, and it's going to be built out. We're not sure of the exact configuration right now, so that's got to be discussions once we get an architect on board. How many offices do they need versus cubicles? A little bit of classroom space or training space and conference room areas. But we had a CM do a preliminary estimate just based on some renovation work of the 24,000 square feet at about 455 square foot, which is a reasonable number. Gets us to about $11 million for the construction. We put contingency and soft costs on there. They got it to the $14.5 million. There is quite a bit of external funding coming from ESD, SUNY, some foundation grants, some congressional grants. So that's all amounting to about $11.55 million. So the county's contribution is only $2.95 million. So we're very excited about this. So it shows great cooperation between agencies that are going to be there, but then also the funding agencies that see a benefit to the career services that are going to be offered.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. So if you have any real detailed questions, MCC will answer them.
Maybe not a real detailed question, but who currently is on the 4th floor?
It is it's an unoccupied space right now.
Thank you.
At 455 per square, is that, that's
a reasonable
the
number.
range?
That includes the demolition and the asbestos abatement. And we have abatement numbers from previous projects, and we have build out costs from other projects. Remember, Forest Center's there.
Yeah.
The Woke Center, there's a whole bunch of other activities that have gone on in that building 33 space.
Right.
So we feel comfortable with that right now.
How does that break down? Was it like 250 to 300 for new, and then demo was what, 50, and the abatement 100 or something like that? Is
Yeah,
it
it's about
ballpark?
$2 million for the abatement portion of it and the demo portion.
10, yeah.
Yeah,
So $100. Okay. Interesting. Numbers have gone up.
yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah,
they continue to stay high.
they do. Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen anything come down?
No,
No.
no, lead times are still long for a lot of
Are they?
the
Yeah.
stuff we use. I mean, drywall and those types of things, but you
Yeah.
know, steel and a lot of other,
That's what I was gonna
commodities
ask
are
now.
still taking a long
Equipment is still out there, right?
right?
Okay, like a year sometimes.
Yes.
I've seen.
The HVAC stuff is taking a long time. The COB job
Yeah.
that just came through here a while ago,
Yeah.
right? We've got,
Yeah.
6 to 12 months worth of lead time on a lot of the equipment. Great.
Okay. Anyone have any questions? And when you do the layout, every partner is gonna have say in what's going in, right?
Right,
So,
yeah, so we'll have a single architect that has yet to be selected, but we're
Yeah.
going through the EOI process right now. And then we'll have meetings to find out exactly what everybody wants, but again, there's common
Yeah.
space, right?
right,
So DOL doesn't need a conference room and Rochester
Right.
Works, you know.
they'll save some money
Shared space,
there,
correct.
yeah, save some money there. Is there an issue down the road where, you know, you need to renovate, but so-and-so doesn't want to renovate, but the other group does? Do you see that? Or is it pretty much MCC owns it and they're just
Well,
tenants?
Yeah, it's a great question.
Yeah.
The tenant, which is Rochester Works, would need to work with us or get our approval for any proposed renovations. So
Okay.
they wouldn't be able to do anything without
Right,
our
you're buying, yeah.
feedback.
Mhm.
And as far as the internal space, Rochester Works will hold the main lease and all the other tenants will sublease to that, sublet.
Yeah, sure,
Right.
yep. Great. Is there room for expansion or is that built in?
I think
Like,
that's
do you
built into
do you
their.
think
to
the
their-
program will expand or, yeah,
We hope.
yeah,
They,
right,
they are planning for, potential partners to be there besides
Okay.
DOL, so
okay.
that
great.
there is some space available.
Perfect. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Any abstentions? Great, motion is approved.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice job. And thank you for coming in, all of you. Other business, we have in your packet,
So it was.
well, they're gonna pass it out.
But we have the meeting schedule and review them. If any issues, email or any questions, email me within next couple weeks because we like to put those schedule in everyone's calendar. So.
So what we've tried to do is, I review it and I try to get away from school vacations, things like that. So, or holiday weekends. So we're just trying to put our head together and say, oh yeah, someone's going to be taking a long weekend because they got a Friday and a Monday off, whatever. So if you could just double check with your calendar and let us know by when you need to know.
How about November 15th?
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About
Great.
3-4 weeks.
And that'll give us a week before the next meeting. And do we have to vote on this? Or we just post it,
Yeah.
right? We just post it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Great.
set these up to occur after committee meetings before the next legend, that couple weeks.
I think
Roughly
that's,
speaking.
Yes, so we try to make it before the legislature, that is after the intro,
Right,
the committee meeting.
right,
I
okay.
don't think, I don't think it's related to the committee meeting.
You're right, after intro.
Yeah.
Because when we write referrals, we put to go to the planning board by a certain date.
Yeah.
So as long as there's a planning board before that next meeting, it's a critical thing.
Okay.
So we'll-
can
yeah,
you
we'll
check that and make
Yeah,
sure? Yeah, they were good.
But we have checked. I think the one thing might be a little bit tight is this December. The December meeting.
That's always,
Like
Right,
couple
that's
days.
always a scream. Yeah, that one.
But then the following Thursday, I think is Christmas Day.
Yeah,
So they don't
and
give us option.
I think a lot of times that's canceled. So, historically, I think we've met once in December in the past, but a handful of years. So,
Okay.
so that, because of that reason, it's
Should be okay.
after Thanksgiving, things are, slowing down. They're getting ready for J1. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot of discussion on budget, but not really capital stuff, so that's.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So take
That's
a
not
look
the-
at it.
Right, Joe, I forgot.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin, pardon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. You guys are still working, trying to get the report ready for January. Yeah. And planning is cranking away. So, yeah, that
And
gooch.
also, we know the March, we meet every Thursday and so in the calendar and meet at 3 instead of 3:30. So that's kind of a busy month.
Yeah. So special meetings there with the special time are noted. They're the items 3, 4, and 5 in the list. So, and then I try to have everything done because our deadline is April 1st. to get something to the county exec. So generally I save our regularly scheduled meeting for, oh my gosh, there's a problem, and we need to, approve something on that day. But, we try to do it the week at a time. So everyone has plenty of time.
Those, that March 6th and 13th, meetings, do you need quorum for those, or can we attend virtually?
That's the introduction. We could postpone a meeting minute until a following. We could do that. A lot of times they are just presentations. So we could, if you have if there's an issue, let us know. And what we'll do is we'll write the agenda. So we approve meeting minutes, say on the 20th, right?
Mhm.
So we can do Zoom March 6th and 13th, if that's not a bad idea. But people are coming in, they're across the street. I want to have at least some people here. So
For the 6th, the first meeting, I think we need to set the public hearing, and I think it might
we need to vote for that. Yeah.
the priority vote too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the 20th, we definitely need, because we need to approve, right? And we need to then prioritize that year's, like we did this year with the 2024. So next year we'll have the 2025 capital budget. So anything happening in 2025, we'll prioritize.
Yeah.
And then we'll have that 6-year, 2025 through, 31. So, yeah. But if there's one that you can't make and we're short, we can arrange the agenda accordingly. We could also set a public hearing prior, right? And we could do it in February if we needed to, Nothing says we can't do it earlier.
Yeah.
Right.
Form for the vote.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So look at the schedule, let us know, and then we'll write the agenda accordingly. If like, I'm out March 6th, then just let us know. All right, cool. Anything else? Any other business from board members? Hearing none, our next scheduled meeting is November 21st at 3:30, and I need a motion for adjournment.
I'm not here. He jumps on that before you're
I know.
done talking.
Yeah, you opened up your mouth, so I hear it from you. Second, please.
Second.
Thank you, David. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, have a good rest of the month. Happy Halloween.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks, Bill.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, nice to meet you.